And action.
Hello and welcome to our new brewing channel, The Chuckle Brewers. I'm Richard,
I'm Toby.
And we are going to do a grand unboxing. Rather than normal people who buy a bucket and start simple, we've gone out and bought medium range everything, and we haven't brewed a pint in our lives. So it's going to be a bit of an experience for us, and hope you'll share it with us.
Lots of stainless steel, no beer.
Lots of stainless steel. So we opted for a Hopcat. It's a 65 litre number, which is the first of the Hopcats not made by the same gluten factory as the Brew, Ace, Class Steam, all those ones. I believe, it's got wood on top of it. I believe it is made of very similar parts, which are sourced from similar factories, and made in a factory not that far away from all the others, by people who worked in the factory that make the other ones. So it should be similar. That looks like one of the plates.
Yeah.
Is it two of them? That's two.
Two plates.
Two plates, one top, one bottom. Fairly tough stuff. Feels alright. Where are we going to put this stuff on?
Put it down there on the table. I'll follow that, Richard.
Alright, there's our lid. Nice piece of glass. Don't drop that at any point. Which are in bounds here. Instruction booklet. A bit thin, but there's lots of videos out there, so here we go.
Okay, the big bit.
So, here's the machine. How much of it can we see? I'll shuffle this box in. That looks like a central pipe that goes down the middle. No point in wrapping it, you've seen them before. We got the option to have the free Hopcat. Hence the name, which is quite a large one. Obviously it's a big machine. Carry on.
Okay.
Oh, and that's, oh Jesus, not sure what this is. To avoid breaking the tap, oh that's a tap. That must be the external draining tap.
Acrylic coil.
Wow.
That's good.
That's bigger than I thought it was going to be.
That's going to cool things down.
Hopefully. And then anything else, or is that just, yeah. So that's the tap. No point wrapping it now. And then if we lift this out,
Okay.
Hold on, is it through turning? There we go.
Got it? No, there's a clip on. There we go.
Is the handle jammed?
Yeah, a hand's jammed in.
Right,
we can.
no,
you got it.
There we go.
Well done.
It's pretty well wrapped. There's a lot of padding in there.
It's not going to.
It's becoming a bit of a pain in the arse to get out.
But you got that bit there.
There we go. So that's the grain caddy thing, the middle bit, the mash tub, and then we've just got a big,
Plenty of room to
big
brew
empty
in there.
boiler. Let's hope that works. So this model has the tube that lets you know how much there is in it, which is new on this model, I believe. And if we turn it round, can you see that on there? Probably not. Yes, there's the sensor. The other thing about this is that all the parts are pretty much the same as they were when it was manufactured by Guten. And when you've seen a few of these, you know they're identical. So, that was the first big purchase we made.
Okay,
So
get that to one side.
Right, what's next?
Right, why don't we do a fermenter?
Yeah, well as you can see we've already opened one fermenter. That was to get out 3 Hopcat tops, which is very nice of them. Man with the knife, and we're allowed to have sharp objects. It's part of my parole conditions. Having said that, he just completely missed the seam as well.
That's why I'm not being caught yet.
So we went for a couple of steel fermenters rather than buckets. We did buy buckets as a backup, which, if we overbrew or have other things we want to experiment with, we thought we'd do that off to the side. Another construction leaflet, which is even more flimsy than the previous one.
Okay. There we go.
So,
one fermenter.
We've got 2 7-gallon, 20-odd litre fermenters. You can see one up here. One we unwrapped earlier, so we don't really need to be too glorious with that. Oh.
There we go. One we unwrapped earlier.
One we unwrapped earlier. It's got a, what do you call that thing at the bottom?
Trub.
It's got a trub vent and
yeah.
a normal tap, and we bought quite a lot of tubing to go with all this. Yeah, so we have 2 We bought 2 7-gallon rather than 1 14-gallon so that we can do things like experiment with dry hopping. So one brew we can take different directions, and it means we don't have to always do 50 plus litres without.
Which we'd struggle to drink in one go.
Yeah, these we bought from Angel Brewing. These are the connectors for the chiller to get them to a hose and everything. We're hoping they're exactly the same size as the chiller that comes with the Clasteen and the Ace Brewing and all the rest of it. We shall see.
Otherwise we'll buy some more kit.
Otherwise it's more kit. And this is just, what do you call it? It's not PVC, it's the other
Silicon.
one. Silicon tubing with a load of various attachments and clamps and things so that we can do other things with the pump from the machine rather than just recirculate.
Okay.
Put that in here. So I'm going New Zealand now, not sure why.
Hot liquor tank.
Hot liquor tank or Sparge boiler. This is we found this cheap on, is it eBay? eBay or Amazon?
Amazon, I think this was.
That's quite heavy. Actually heavier than the...
I'll hold the lid then.
Oh, so this is it's a boiler in its own right that you can actually brew beer in. And it has a proper industrial ball tap and all the rest of it. But it was going for about, what did we get it for? 102?
Yeah.
Something like that at the time, and I believe there's another fiver off them. So it's got a thermometer and hopefully be fairly accurate because a lot of the boilers don't seem to be. And that holds...
Is that 30 litres?
6 gallons. Is it? No, 7 gallons, 25 litres.
Yeah.
So that should be enough to sparge almost anything we'll ever do.
Yes.
So that's another special treat. What else did we buy?
Okay. Kegs.
Kegs. Yeah.
Glad we haven't gone overboard.
Yeah. Whoa! Careful. So, rather than bottle, like most people do when they start, we decided to go straight to kegging, which neither of us have got a clue how to do. We believe it involves gas.
But sounds quicker than bottling.
Sounds quicker than bottling and a lot less storage problems. And we got 2, so that's 1 each.
1 each, yeah.
Oh dear, this is a hard one. Maybe you should do the knife.
Yeah.
I'll end up killing myself. There's a reason I don't have sharp objects. I'll show you the scars because we're in Jaws territory. See, this man knows what he's doing. This stuff is all from the malt miller, who I have to say, delivery was fantastic. Price is good, service amazing. Recommend them for anything so far. Obviously we've not tried any of it, but you know, it's been very good so far. So we got a brand new.
There we go.
We got a brand new starter kit and a second keg. That's obviously tubing, which we need to keep together because if we get it mixed up, we're in serious trouble. And there we go. Keg 1
and keg 2.
Now, what we do with them, how we use them and things, I'm sure will be the subject of another video.
Yeah.
Because we really don't have a clue.
We have no idea. But they're Cornelius Kegs and they hold beer.
They hold beer. Enough beer to have a merry afternoon. Right, I might as well put them back in there for now. I don't know what's in there.
Well, they look good, don't they?
Some sort of rod. They do look good.
They are really good.
Yeah. Good.
Right.
That's definitely worth doing, I think.
Yes.
Because the idea of filling up, was it 100 bottles for 50 litres of beer?
Yeah, that's going to take a long while.
It takes a while. I calculated 35 seconds a bottle, but apparently that's a bit optimistic.
Yeah. Don't think I have the patience for that.
There's a rod here. I was going to keep them in there.
Okay.
I don't know what that does. I'll stick it. Yeah, across.
All right.
Anything else?
We have got another bucket. We've got a fermenting bucket and some testing kit in here.
Oh yeah, we got a bigger one.
There's also malt miller, which came with Cornelius Kegs.
Yeah. How fast did it take to get the stuff from malt miller?
Oh, it was a day. Yeah, it was
They
a
were
day.
really quick.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's a big one. Was that 60 litres?
Yes, I think.
Yeah. We just got with the spare, so we've got stuff for cleaning up. Apparently cleaning is a bit of a thing. Ooh.
Yeah, so we have got the usual disinfecting, sterilising solution.
That's
just some cheat malt extract for the yeast.
Yes, because we're going to try and culture yeast and stuff. Another great mystery to solve.
Which I'm sure will go perfectly to start off.
What's that? Oh, is that our...
This is...
hydrometer.
Oh, the hydrometer.
Ooh.
There we are.
Baby toy. Yeah, so we went for the fancy looking one. Not very expensive, but but more than the plastic things.
Yeah.
So that's another thing we have to learn how to use.
More fittings, pH papers.
pH papers. We didn't get an electronic pH thing because that just seemed wildly over the top.
Yeah, we've gone from 3.8 to 5.4, so we can get a more accurate reading.
Well, unless we go off the end of 5.4 and then we're in trouble.
Then we're in trouble and we get.
Oh, okay. A CO2 regulator. That must be to go with the
Korny
Kegs.
Kegs.
No, we haven't got one. Hey ho.
Yeah,
Hey
it's
ho.
a dual kit.
Right. Yes. Go in there.
Okay.
So get this box out of the way. As you can see, we've gone a little bit OTT. I'd say we'd spent 1,100 quid.
Around about that.
Around about that, yeah. These I bought off eBay for, I think they're about 27 quid for a pair with filters and a few tubes and taps and things. They're 25 litre. Again, for experimentation, or if the worst goes to the worst. I believe sometimes in the middle of a fermentation you can re-ferment, as in move it to another fermenter, and we're thinking maybe starting plastic, go steel, or starting steel, go plastic. Oh.
Yes, and yeast.
You've got two of them.
Yeast kit.
Yeast kit, yes. Yes, we saw someone in a video doing this and it looked like fun, so went out and got a 500 millilitre one, and that's a litre, I think, 1,000 millilitre.
Yeah, a litre and half a litre.
Let's try not to knock that off. And to go with it, where did that go?
So
That's over there, yeah.
The mixer.
Lab stirrer, I think what they call them.
The magnetic stirrer. There you go.
Might be better, won't they? And the front! There's the...
There we are.
Dear.
Bits.
It dropped all our bits.
Oh no.
So cheap nasty thing for about 25 quid off eBay. That's the reason unboxings take so long, because that took at least 4 weeks to get here from China, even though it was supposed to be stocked in Japan. Or one tip: don't try it out without some liquid and a thing, because it grinds a hole in the top of your stirrer and grinds all the plastic off one of the little stirring things that came with it. So, so that's a lesson. There's a power plug came with that.
Yep. That is up there.
Oh, so what's that?
I have no idea. Let's have a look.
Does that come with the brew machine? See, it's all gone horribly wrong already. Ooh.
These are, yes, oh look,
Oh, nuts
and bolts. Brackets.
Oh, that's the feet for the one of those.
It will be.
Is it?
Will be.
It's the extension feet, isn't it?
Is it feet for the?
Yeah, these little steel buckets.
That's what it is.
You can either have them with low feet or high feet. Which, if you get the high feet, it means it's easier for the trub outlet and things. You should be able to get two in the fridge. We're just using an old fridge. We're trying to find another one.
That's because we've got two fermenters.
Is that the same thing?
Yeah, so
pair of legs. So,
what have we got in there?
oh, temperature probe. Oh yes.
Yeah.
It's our ink bird for running a fermenting fridge. We had to open some of these because my wife made a lot of orders of various things, so I couldn't make her wait for the unboxing, as it's taken us a good 8 weeks to get here. So that's the ink bird for the fridge, and there should be a heater, shouldn't there?
Is this the heater?
That's the tube
There
heater.
we go.
So that's a 40 watt garden shed tube heater, which should be enough for a normal fridge, we're told. So you plug in the ink bird, you plug in the heater, you plug in the fridge into the ink bird, and when it's too cold the heater comes on, and when it's too hot the fridge comes on. But at the current conditions, the chances of the fridge coming on at all are extremely slim, because it's bleeding freezing.
And we're brewing in a garage.
We're brewing
so
if you didn't notice, it's a garage.
Cold.
It's going to be cold all the time, which is probably better than it being hot all the time.
Just use the fridge as an insulator.
And we have running water somewhere.
We do?
We did check that, didn't we?
Yes. Well, we have running water outside and we have running water in the utility rooms next door.
Okay,
so
so
we
we
should
might
be
need a bit of
well
hose.
sorted.
So is that it?
That is it.
Oh, it doesn't look like much, does it?
Doesn't look that much.
So we are officially all the gear and no idea, because literally in the next couple of days we are going to do our first brew, and all we have to go on is what we've seen on YouTube. Staff brew and hundreds of hours of others.
Yeah.
I mean, when we decided to do this 3 months ago, I started watching YouTube, and I've probably watched 200 or 300 hours of it now, and read all the books you're supposed to read and everything else. I still don't really know what I'm doing, just know a few words. And you?
And we'll soon find out exactly the same.
He's our chemist, by the way. He's going to be our water treatment specialist.
We'll put a bit of pH paper in,
And I'm the drinker. So,
great.
thank you. We are the Chocolate
We're ready
Brewers.
to go.
Brew me.
Brew you.
Oh God, that was painful.
That was funny.